Hi, everyone. Welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbe, here broadcasting to you on the Trinity Mystical Energy YouTube channel using Be Live TV. So, welcome. Here it is, a rather drizzly Sunday morning here in Maine, and it's a great day for us to reconnect to ourselves, our spirit, our spiritual team. A lot of people are going through phases where we feel a little lost, we feel a little disconnected, and maybe we feel a little defeated in what's going on around us and what might be happening, out on the planet. So, that is what is here, kind of welcoming us into today. And so, as part of Soul Connections, we do this, nice centering and cleansing energy, kind of getting all the muck off of us so we can feel a little more like who we truly are. And then I pull cards for guidance from your spiritual team, kind of like what's up for the month. And today we're going to be using the Rider-Waite deck, which is like the traditional deck. But I use what's called the Radiance Art deck. And so it's a little bit different. The artwork, for those of you who are, used to the more traditional, it's a little softer. It's a little brighter. I feel that this deck has a little more of the divine feminine in it than the traditional Rider-Waite deck. But it has all the alchemy and all of the things to speak to us, speak to your soul, send the symbolism of communication. So your team can get through what you need to happen. And I don't necessarily read the cards in the traditional way. I definitely allow spirit to say what it wants to say or needs to say. Because sometimes it's the closest card to tell you what you've been asking for or needing. So welcome to everyone who's in the chat. After we do the meditation, if you'd like a card drawn, all you have to do is type in yes, please, and we will pull you guys in the order that you appear in the studio, which is not always the same as it appears, on the screen, because we have it coming from more than one direction. So thank you, Rob, for being the co-pilot and helping with the cards and getting those ready. So welcome, everyone. I won't be reading your comments as they're coming up, just because I read them after, because it can pull me out of the channel brain. It makes it difficult. I go into thinking. So I want to stay very present for you so that I can be of service for you this morning. So we're actually going to get started. So I invite you to get, comfy. Make sure that you are, you feel supported in where you are, whether you're sitting or you're laying down. I would not do this driving a car because it's pretty powerful, the energy that moves through. So we're going to take a couple of deep breaths. Oh, and make sure your arms and your legs are uncrossed, because we don't want any energy circuits to, get a little squashed there, or things to ricochet back at you that we don't want to. So let's take a couple of nice deep breaths. And we're going to begin by inviting in the divine energy, however you perceive that. So whether you connect to God or Goddess, all that is, oneness, consciousness, or simply the divine, we invite that energy to connect to us and through us for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. We ask the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light, energizing our force field of protection, reflecting love back to any outside energy, while emanating love from within, giving us space to feel safe, secure, and protected, and connecting to our spiritual teams, all divine of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to us in this moment. Our angels, our guides, our ancestors, our animal totems, mystical creatures, star beings, all divine that are here to assist us in reconnecting with our soul, our higher self, in the fullest and brightest vibrations, frequencies, and dimensions. We simply begin by allowing the energy to connect to our crown, feeling the gentle pressure and tingling of the divine reconnection. Breathing love and light into any places where it may feel tight, restricted, dissipating any thought distortions that may be impacting the fullness of our energy system, or our gentle ability to receive, reconnecting with our third eye, the perception and the interpretation of all of our senses coming together in unity, amplifying our state of awareness, allowing us to see more clearly the messages, the guides, and the symbols that our team shares with us as guidance along our journey. Opening our ears so that we may hear more clearly the wisdom being sent to us, that we may receive through another person, through music, through a sign we see. Expanding the energy in our throat, to allow more open, honest, and integrous communication. Making space for the creative expression of who we truly are to begin to unfold in beautiful new ways. And all the ways we've held back or felt held back by others, releasing those ties of restraint and connection, anchors that have caused resistance to personal growth and change, and dissolving the pressure of all of our responsibilities in this moment. Taking the gravity and the heaviness, the burden energy that we may feel carrying those responsibilities for ourselves and for others. And just in this moment, allowing that energy to slide off of you so you can have more space to breathe, more space to be. And really opening up your lungs and your heart space, allowing the divine breath to fill you, that oxygen to flow through your bloodstream, the infusion, bright light with golden hues, vibrating out through your being, releasing any pressure in your back between your shoulder blades, filling that space with divine support, assistance and guidance, love and compassion, and releasing the energy from the past that may be influencing your breath in the present moment. Allowing that energy to be present, just separate. Then moving down into our third chakra, really calming the bubbly energy that has been trying for ourselves, for our inner child, quieting the inner critic, making a little space for you to be separate from the judgment and the criticism that may have made it difficult to truly express yourself, your wishes, your dreams, your needs. Reclaiming your personal power, calling it home from all the places you have inadvertently handed it away. Beginning to quiet the energy in your lower back, where you may have experienced difficulty with others in your job, in your relationships, maybe just in your interactions. Gently bringing your energy back into the present moment around that. Really calming the emotional waters, bringing them back into balance, quieting the thought distortions that have kept that energy maybe a bit more turbulent than you are used to, than you want to. Filling those places with pleasure and with joy, opening up the hip energy to ground that, allowing more space for creation, manifestation, intention, and attention. Moving the energy down into the root chakra. And in that root, allowing the divine energy to ground us more deeply and more completely, sweeping away our insecurities, stabilizing any energy with our job or a future job, housing, money, car, anything that can create a sense of instability or lack of control. Flooding our energy with calming, safe, supported vibrations in each and every dimension. Now, gently allowing all the released energy to move down our legs, through our feet, and into the earth. where the earth will compost the energy and return it to its original vibration of creation. And any worries or concerns, allowing them to go down into the earth as well, handing them over, knowing that they will be resolved quickly and easily when we do. Now, strengthening our grounding cord beneath us, inviting it to become just a little bit wider, holding us more firmly in the present, giving us space for our energy system and our chakras to stay in full alignment. And inviting Grandmother Earth to fill us with that golden yellow light, filling in all the places where our energy may feel depleted, places where we held on to energy too tightly and have had space to release it, or release some, really filling up the spine with unconditional love and support, opening the heart to hold even more compassion, love, and understanding for ourselves and for others. Inviting the energy to flow down our arms and into our hands, so that all that we touch can be healed as well. Moving the energy up through the throat and the self expression, quieting the jaw while filling with peace and serenity. Now, gently asking our heart to radiate out love and compassion into our aura to cleanse and restore and repair it. Remembering that the aura is above us, below us, in front of us, behind us, and on either side. Restoring in the physical layer, the emotional layer, the mental layer, where our thoughts linger, the spiritual layer, even out to our karma and beyond. Strengthening each strand, each bubble the aura creates for us. strengthening our immune system. Taking a moment of gratitude with our spiritual team for guiding us here today, gathering us together in this healing community. Sending healing energy to those who have prayed or asked for it, those in need, for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. And now taking a couple of deep breaths, and with each breath, just allowing any excess energy to go down into the earth plane, bringing you back more and more present into your body. You might want to stretch or yawn, wiggle around, rub your hands together, rub your feet on the floor, whatever helps reconnect you with where you are right now. You might want to feel your clothes, your muscles, and your body in connection to the chair or the floor, whatever works for you. All right. So in this energy, we've really called in our whole team and even some teams of the people in the community to help guide us. And so I will be pulling cards if you would like one from the Rider Waite deck. It has the radiant art. And again, that has just a softer feel to it than the totally traditional deck. And I will be giving my interpretation, and you may get your own message about the card. And, I don't take that personally. So if the card speaks something to you, that's important, right? I'm here as a facilitator. So Rob will help me by letting me know who's the first person to get a card. Ellen, of course, the beautiful Ellen. Fantastic, sweetie. So this is the Sun card. And the Sun card is part of the major arcana. That's why it has a Roman numeral at the top. And the Sun, look at that horse. I mean, you're so connected to horses. Look at how happy that inner child is on the horse. The Sun for me, it's a period of our soul's journey. As we journey from lesson to lesson, our soul goes through a particular path. Kind of lets us know how we're doing in soul school. And so when we get to the upper level cards, the Sun is like, yay! And you're shining, you're beaming that energy of like, yes, happiness, and your child is happy. So I feel like what's coming up for you in the next month or so is really about like tapping into that joy for yourself and really, finding ways to just exude it out into the universe. It's easy for us to go into negativity and down the negativity rabbit hole. Society almost encourages us to complain. So finding those things that allow that not to come in, like, this is my joy. This is what I love. So this is what I'm doing. And when we're in that playful, happy energy, it's contagious, and a good contagious. It just starts to spread that possibility of joy for everyone around you. And that's a way to be in service to others, is when we shine our light, kind of unapologetically, we show other people that they can have the life they want, or they can have moments of joy, even when other things may be kind of crazy. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to let the crazy get to me. I'm going to find joy. So my tip for you is to look for things that really speak to your inner child, speak to your joy, and do something in your joy energy every single day. Um, and that might sound hard at first, but once we get in the habit of today I am expressing my joy. How am I expressing my joy today? And then we create ways to express it. Um, it becomes a habit. It becomes our inner ritual. So go spread your light, you beautiful sun, you, and let you know that it's like part of your soul's purpose right now. So go do it. We need you. All right. Hi, Alyssa. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in a while, heard from you in a while. So let's see what's coming up for you. So the card that popped out first was the Five of Pentacles. And fives are, can be a little difficult because they're in the middle of the suit. So they're often a teeter-totter kind of card. For me, there's two interpretations. One is you can see them as being, out in the cold, and they're cast out, and they're by a temple, right? It's like, looks like a church stained glass window. One is looking down and one is looking up. So the one on the crutches is like running to their sacred space, and the other is not seeing it and almost walking by. So when I see this card, what I see is it's a decision of, are you going to choose ways to reconnect with the divine, or are you going to wallow in the heaviness of the emotional energy that you may be experiencing, or the heaviness of negative thoughts and thought patterns, which may not all be yours, because we often get flooded with everybody else's. But with the Five of Pentacles, it's really like, which way are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the positivity, or are you going to choose the negativity? I mean, it's very similar to Ellen's card, but hers is very clear, right? Like, sun, choose the happiness. And the Five of Pentacles is a little more subtle. It's like, it's not just happiness. It's like, are you going to choose to worship your inner temple, to worship that divine part of yourself that we all have, and to come in out of the cold. When we've been in a place where we feel like isolated and separated from our spark, from our connection, it can feel lonely, and it can feel like we don't have anybody, or nobody gets us, except the divine knows you and has been getting you for a long time. And maybe you just need to find your community, because that can make a huge difference, is like, find a group of people who get you. The other card that jumped out, that wanted to be read as well, is the Death card. And it doesn't mean somebody's going to die. It's really rare that that's what it's for, because you can see there's like a sunrise in the background. But with the Death, it's saying, as part of your soul's journey, it's something is ending. Something you've tried to do it the certain way, and it's, you gave it a good go. But there's no more energy for it. There's no more trying to make it work or trying to make it happen. That is just, it's done. And, you may be trying to make somebody else happy, and boy, does that drain our energy. And no wonder you would be on crutches, if you've been doing that. But with something ending, there's always this beautiful new beginning. The sun is starting to shine. The happiness is wanting to come in. It's like, there's nothing more satisfying than going, oh, I'm done. And when I'm done, it's like, you can breathe a sigh of relief and can go, okay, now on to something better. I'm ready for something better, because something better is what's coming. So I hope that finds you well, and have a great day. Have a great month. All right. Julie, hello, sweetie. All right, let's see. Your card is the Two of Wands. And so notice he's got like two staffs. There's water out in front of him, and he's holding the world in the globes, in the globe stance. But for me, the Two of Wands is about the beginning of a new journey. And you've got the stick of support, and you've actually got two. And for me, that means you're very balanced, that the masculine and feminine are both going to walk with you. And the globe really is like our GPS that we have on our phones now, which is, here's the world. What are you going to do with it? And it's looking out. He's standing, at home, basically, and it's time for a journey. And that journey is something that really calls to your spirit, that really calls to how you want to express who you are. And it's like, it's a magical experience is what I'm feeling. It's like, there's that little bit of trepidation that you're about to take this little journey, and it may feel like a big, big journey, but it's little. And it's kind of like when we feel like we're going to be taking this giant leap over, the Grand Canyon, and then we look back and we jumped over a little crack in the sidewalk. It's perspective, right? So you're getting ready for this new journey. You may even know what the new journey is, and you're going to get started. It could be a new job. It could be, a new project. It could be a new piece of artwork. It could be a new poem. It could be, but there's a pleasure for you that will come from the journey itself. So it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. Does that make sense? So, that sounds fun. I can't wait to find out what that is. It always piques my curiosity. All right. So, this is Amy, right? Amy Daniels. Hello. Good morning. So your card, dear, is the King of Cups. Yes, from Amy. I love how he's his own island. Kings are all often only their own island. When we get the King card, there's two schools of thought. It could be about a male in your life. But generally for me, when I see the King card, it's like, it's when it's time for us to tap into our own personal masculine. So in this energy, the King of Cups, Cups is all about intuition. Cups is all about our emotions. And so when we're in the King energy around that, we have our feelings fully, we embrace them, we honor them, but it's almost like we don't get emotional about about it. We use our intuition to really guide us without question. And it doesn't occur to the King that they don't know what to do or how to do it. So it's like they're masters. Other people may give them counsel, but they make all their own decisions. So some of this is moving out of the feminine who worries about the community. And so they ask everybody's opinion. What do you think? How do you think this should go? And the King goes, this is what I'm doing. So there feels like there's some energy about using your own intuition to make decisive decisions. You do not have to explain yourself to anyone else. And while there may be emotions that are created around those decisions, you're not making the decision from an emotional place. You're making the decision from an intuitive place. And outside people might misinterpret that. But a king doesn't worry about how anybody else takes it, right? So it's a very grounded energy. And, really, it keeps coming in decisive with your intuition, decisive with your intuition. So when you need to make a decision, really tap into what does my intuition say? What does my spirit say? And let that be your guide, regardless of what other stuff may be bombarding you from other people, because everyone wants to tell you what they think, but it's not generally what they intuitively know. That makes sense. And what you intuitively know is tapped into a much higher frequency and source than um, what other people think. All right, my dear. Thank you for joining us this Sunday. Glad you found us. Dinah, oh my goodness. Hi, sweetie. All right, let's get your card. Oh, nice. So your card is the Three of Pentacles. And, the Pentacles, they do have to do with money, but they also have to do with how grounded we are, how centered and safe and secure we are. And the Three of Pentacles for me is when you are in the process of building your own temple. And so there's many interpretations to that. You could physically be building a church, but more often than not, you're paying attention to your personal temple. So you may be building up your spiritual practice. You may be doing more exercise or shifting your nutrition to better support your temple. So it's like working on your temple in ways that are supporting that you love the divine being inside. Because our temple is our house. It's the house of God, right? Or goddess. And so in that place, it's like we often get caught in the lower vibration of disrespecting our own body. We, as women, we're often taught to be critical of it and critical of others. And so sometimes, with the temple, it's like, okay, no, I'm going to choose to love my temple, and I'm going to take care of it in a new, fresh way. And for me, often this is a deepening of my spiritual practice, but it also might be as gentle as, going swimming or doing yoga or stretching or committing myself to taking a walk a couple times a week, just to honor that the body is supporting me. And so that's what I'm seeing for you. So take care of your temple in whatever way calls to you. And a lot will happen. It's like when we shine ourselves up from the inside out, there's wonderful things that happen from that. Maybe we all needed to hear that. Thanks, Dinah. All right, let's see. You are very welcome, Julie. I'm glad that was good for you. Oh, nice. I love when stuff makes sense. It's perfect. That's always one of those things that is good for me to see that it makes sense. Deanna, fantastic. All right, so let's see what Deanna has. I was waiting for her card. So Deanna's card, your card is the Chariot. And the Chariot, again, it's one of the major arcana, so it's one of the soul cards. And with the Chariot, one of the things that I see, one of the things that always jumps out to me is that you have the white and the black on either side. It's the balance of the shadow and the light, the masculine and the feminine, the physical and the spirit. And in the Chariot, you have the reins, right? You're driving the bus. So, one of the things that comes up usually with this card is that there may be things that come up for you as part of your soul's lesson to help you remember that you're in charge. You're in charge of your own life, and when things get thrown at you, you know, you can swerve or you can take it head on. And neither one is right. Like it's all what's best for you. And when you own that you're the one driving the bus, then we can release some of the energy of people doing things to us. You know, they made me do that, or they made me feel this way. Because when we take it on as they did it to me, we go into this kind of negative spiral, or we go into a little bit of victim mentality. But the Chariot is saying, you're in control. Nobody's making you do anything. You've got the bus, you drive it. If you don't like where you are, drive it somewhere else. And do it in a balance of your physical and your spiritual life. Do it in the honoring of the what, you know, tweaks you into your shadow and what lets you shine your brightest light. And just really use that as your personal guide. When the Chariot comes up, I always feel like there's I see this vision of like water balloons. Maybe because, you know, I don't want to see something else, but you know, I see water balloons coming at you and splatting. But they're harmless, right? And so they may seem like, oh no, I'm being attacked. But they're just splats. So it's that, no, I'm going to stay the course that's right for me, regardless of what other people want to throw at me. This is where I'm headed. So get nice and grounded and clear on that direction. And if you have those moments of imbalance, remember you're driving the bus. It's the hardest thing for us to remember. Spirit helps us, but boy, you know, with our free will, we're driving that bus. All right. Thanks, Deanna. Oh my goodness, Christina. Woohoo. I haven't seen you in such a long time. Yes, of course. Oh, this is a great card for you, sweetie. The Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is such a powerful friendship card, a gathering of women in celebration, in love, in sisterhood. There's this sense of coming together for celebration. And what I'm feeling is like sort of like a gathering of friends, and just that friend group that you can just be you with, that you aren't trying to be what somebody else wants you to be. That, and taking that time to be like, oh yeah, I can just be Christina right now. I don't have to be the good daughter or the good employee or I can just be Christina, you know. And maybe this is, you know, kind of a reunion with friends who really have always seen you as you, or it may be a collaboration kind of energy of you working with someone else who's like, who really gets you and loves who you are. So yeah, it's that wonderful collaboration. And you know, you always bring the joy-filledness of to that. So I look forward to hearing what that might be. Maybe just get a little reunion of some of your healing friends. And everybody gets together and trades off. That would be cool. All right. Nice to see you. And Lisa, hi. Oh, I love those tigers. All right. So Lisa, you have the moon. Ellen had the sun and you have the moon. And so, you know, some people see you know, they're howling at the moon. It's interesting because that's just never been my own interpretation. I think I don't think howling at the moon is a bad thing. I've always seen it as like this beautiful celebration of like, hello, moon goddess, you're here in your fullness. So even when we had the coyotes hollering at the moon, it never felt, I mean, it felt eerie, but it still felt like they were just so compelled, right, to just share that. So when the moon card comes up, again, it's a major arcana card. So it is part of what your soul is working on right now. And when we're in the moon energy, we are brave enough to shine our light into places that are dark. So sometimes that means we are doing some deep inner work, we're doing transformational work. Sometimes we are surrounded by other people who are in their darkness, and we are holding the light so that we can be the inspiration for them to shift and change their lives to hold more brightness. And I always think of the fact that the moon shines because the sun shines on it. So the moon in its fullness is really when the moon has absorbed all that light, even though it's like that, it's like the reflection of all the possibilities, and it's brave enough to do it in the darkness. The moon also carries a lot more of the goddess energy, where the sun carries more of the god energy. And with the moon, there is this connection to the other side and to people who may have crossed over. It's more shamanic in its energy and in its flow, but there is a lot of water that goes through. There's a lot of emotion that goes through, and it's that going deep into the emotional caverns and seeing what's there, whether it's, deep sadness or grief or anger, resentment, despair, whether it's within you or it's with people that you work with. When we hold the moon, we shine the light so that it's less scary. It's kind of like giving a child a flashlight who's scared of the dark or who's been seeing things in the dark, maybe from the other side. And it allows them to have their own way to feel safe, right? So it also has a layer of safety and security. So you will also be out there working on shining your light. And as the moon goes through cycles, right, there are periods when the moon is darker than the periods that the moon is fully light. So just be mindful of, is your energy waning or is your energy waxing? Is it building? And I would also pay attention to how the moon cycles are impacting your own personal emotions and thoughts. Because many of us ride that wave of moon cycles, and that can impact us quite a bit. And then you can find out when you have the most energy and when you have the least and plan accordingly. All right, there you go, sweetie. Oh, you have a blissful Sunday too. Your solar plexus is
dancing.
Oh, yeah, that personal power is like ready to go. Nice. I like it. I like it. Oh, wonderful, Christina. Glad to have that for you. Jill. All right. What do we have, Jill? So Jill, we have the 6 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Pentacles really is in this energy of abundance. There's the scales. He's holding the scales on the side, and he's balancing out what's just. So part of what comes through with the 6 of Pentacles for me is it's that energy of you have plenty. Sometimes we're worried that we don't have enough, and then we freeze our energy and we hoard. And it's like, no, really, I'm fine. I have enough. And not only do I have enough, but I have enough to share. And it doesn't have to be actually money, because some people confuse, like, okay, now I got to go out and I've got to give money, which if you can, absolutely do. There's some wonderful things that could use some extra influx right now. But it also can be things like sharing your time, volunteering for something, or, you have a neighbor who, is having difficulty, and you just help by bringing their mail to their door so they don't have to go out and get it. Those are ways where you can give back and be like, no, I have plenty of time. I have plenty of this. I'm doing this. Do you need some? If you have a garden that's abundant, you might share some vegetables with someone else rather than having them go bad. It's that place where it's easy to fall in the trap where we don't have enough. But it's a lot harder to really grab a hold of the abundant mindset and share it with other people. So find some ways to share that abundance that you may be feeling. And maybe it's just joy, and you go out and you spread joy to people who've been having, maybe not such a joyful time. Yeah. Go out and spread it. Spread your light. Spread your abundance. So we could definitely use some of that. I'm even seeing like giving flowers away, which I don't know if you've got flowers or something, but it's that sensation of like, it just makes it your day when somebody does something sweet for you, just because. I love just because flowers, as opposed to ones that are obligatory for like birthday or Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. I'd much rather get a rose just because somebody saw it and thought of me. Does that make sense? All right. Thanks for being with us, Jill. And of course, we got to finish out the day with Rob. I love it. My beautiful co-pilot. Nice card for you, dude. The strength card. All right. Look at that wide open crown she's got. The strength card is one of those cards where it's the, you have the ability to tame the lion. You have all the inner resolve and inner strength that you need. You just need to tap into it. And the way to tap into it is to keep that crown wide open and let the divine guide you. And, we all know that, but there's times where physical life gets in our way. It's like, oh, I want a new job. Oh, I need a new place to live. And it's like, no. Where do you want to live? I want to live here. Okay, so divine, that's where I want to live. Line up a job, a place for me to live, and everything in this location. This is, do I want to live by myself? Do I want to have roommates? Do I want this? Do I want to have, how many rooms do I want? What kind of commute do I want? How much money do I want to make? You tell the divine from that inner strength spot, not from I don't know if I can ask for that. You just do. And then you let it go. It's not a negotiation. The divine has no attachment to money or things or location. They're like, oh, that's where your soul wants to experience the next step. Okay, then here you go. So find that strength, that resolve within you to make clear, decisive asks, and do it with your heart and your crown wide open, and boom, they'll land rapidly. Lovely and capable assistant. I get it. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to be in that space of being in service, connecting to our community, our little community here, and sharing the love. That's really what Soul Connections is about. It's about reconnecting you with your own spirit, reminding you how to listen to your spiritual team, and make room for divine guidance and divine timing. And here at Trinity Mystical Energy, we're here to support you in all sorts of ways. That's our website. That's how you can find our products, our crystals, our oils, our sage, all the things that might help you with taking care of your spirit and your temple. It's also got information about our school. And our new session starts in January, and most of it's online, a little bit in person. But hey, it's a really cool thing. If you want to do some deep dive work, it's coming up. And on top of that, I will see many of you on chakra sessions. We are taking 2 weeks off because I will be teaching my last session of my school. And we'll be back on the 23rd, the day after the equinox. But if you are someone who loves to do the connection, loves to do the healing, look later. Later today, there will be the full moon healing event that you can sign up for. It'll be on the 20th of September. Lots and lots of cool energy coming our way for that. So with that, you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me with my spiritual mission, which is to heal the healers, because we need to shine your light. So see you next time. Bye, guys.